Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've had this one for a bit. I didn't want to rush and make a video, but I also don't really need 20 minutes to cover it, so here's a quick take that took a while to get to. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this great discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Alright, enough talk, let's get right into it.
Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer is thoroughly impressed with this monitor, considering it an unbeatable value for the quality it delivers. After extensive use, our reviewer has put this screen through its paces with a wide variety of games, from graphically intensive titles to older ones. The performance has been consistently excellent, with no noticeable ghosting. This client notes that games known for their stunning visuals look absolutely outstanding, displaying in crisp, true HD. Conversely, if a game's graphics are inherently poor, the monitor won't magically fix them, but this is a reflection of the source material, not the display itself. While most of the testing was done on a console, it's clear that PC gamers would be able to push the visual quality even further. Beyond the picture quality, a few physical aspects really stood out. Despite its large screen size, the unit is surprisingly lightweight. The real star, however, is the stand. This client was amazed by its stability and versatility, allowing for a wide range of tilt adjustments, from facing the floor to pointing high up. It's so stable, in fact, that our reviewer could comfortably use it on a bed, without worrying about it wobbling or tipping over with slight movements. There were a couple of initial hurdles, though. The out-of-the-box display settings were far from ideal, requiring some immediate tweaking to get a great picture. A scenery preset proved to be the best starting point. There was also a minor setup hassle where the monitor defaulted to VGA input, forcing the user to find a VGA source just to access the menu and switch it over to HDMI. As expected for a display like this, the built-in speakers are quite weak, but that's a common and understandable shortcoming. Despite these small initial annoyances, the overall verdict is overwhelmingly positive.
To get things started, let's hear from our first reviewer.
This reviewer found this monitor to be a really nice display, noting that its integrated speakers even allow it to function quite well as a small television. The image quality is very good, though our reviewer stopped short of calling it stunning. This is because the picture can sometimes appear washed out or overly saturated, depending on the built-in video presets. These settings, which adjust things like contrast and brightness for different scenarios like gaming or watching movies, can make an average image look great. However, this client found it can be a pain to switch between them when viewing different types of content, as there is no remote control. Our reviewer also ran into a few operational quirks. A particularly irritating feature was the display's tendency to enter power-saving mode during very dark movie scenes, making it seem like the scene was just unnaturally long until the realization hit that the screen had turned off. This was fixable by adjusting the video settings to a brighter mode, but it was certainly confusing at first. The biggest source of frustration, however, was the control system. This client found the button layout to be exceptionally confusing. The volume and brightness buttons also double as the up and down navigation for the on-screen menu. Adjusting a simple setting like volume becomes a convoluted process of pressing one button to activate the function, then pressing it again to go down or pressing the separate brightness button to go up. To add to the confusion, these crucial buttons aren't even next to each other and are located on the bottom of the bezel, making them difficult to find and use in the dark. Ultimately, this is a good product once you get used to it, but our reviewer felt that these odd design choices held it back from a perfect score.
Awesome. Let's hear what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer recently acquired this display screen and wanted to share their experience. It's an upgraded version of a previous model that's now hard to find, which initially led to some hesitation. This client was perfectly content with the older version, but availability issues forced the upgrade. Thankfully, our reviewer is ultimately pleased with the purchase. The screen boasts the same great 23.8-inch IPS display and up to 75 MHz refresh rate, plus FreeSync adaptive sync support and a DisplayPort connection. It even includes those somewhat underwhelming built-in speakers. However, the standout feature is the improved stand. It not only allows for tilt and height adjustments, but also a full 90-degree pivot into vertical orientation, which is a real boon for reading long documents. While it technically has a swivel function, it's essentially just rotating the entire base, not the screen itself. Another welcome addition is the integrated USB hub. Connecting to your computer, it provides 2 USB ports for peripherals. Our reviewer found it incredibly useful for decluttering their desk by reducing the number of direct connections to their computer, successfully powering a webcam and numpad. The stand comes pre-attached to the VESA mount, making assembly simple with a hand-tightened screw for the base. One thing to note is that the package only includes power and HDMI cables, so you'll need to source a DisplayPort cable separately. This client notes the current climate has impacted prices, making this model feel a touch more expensive than it ideally should be. Coupled with intermittent stock availability, getting one may be a challenge. Despite these external factors, the reviewer is completely satisfied, especially appreciating the added stability from the stand and the convenience of the USB hub.
That's it for this one. If you found this helpful, tap that like button and subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Questions? Let's talk in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.